like I said before the video cut off, the Lord is aiming Esau at you people, and he's going to use Esau to knock off a certain amount of people and spare, the hopeful elect. This is another thing that a lot of people know about, but at the same time are ignorant to. Because once again, when nukes hit, you have people that was going to pretty much radiation tablets and all this nuclear fallout preparation. But they will understand when nukes hit America, it's not going to be one here or one there. The scriptures mention how the nuclear missiles are the Heavenly Father's weapons. And when you're going to war, a serious war, what is it that you're doing? You're bringing your best, your brightest, you're bringing your heavier artillery, because you get ready to lay all that shit on your enemy. And the Lord, he's going to lay all that shit on America. All those missiles, he's going to drop all of it on America. So no level of bunker is going to be able to save you from that. One missile or two, you might be fine. Well, Russia said that they could use 4 to take out America, so I don't even know about 2. But you maybe find 1 or 2. But nuclear weapons from all these other major superpowers of the world, everything they have, America's going to get turned to dust. The 2 Peter 3:11. 10. But the day of the Lord Yahweh shall come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Saying then all these things shall be dissolved. What manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So understanding that everything you see is going to be destroyed, how are we supposed to be acting? Verse 12, looking for a coming up, hastening to the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. In other words, seeking all these things to come to pass, and seeking, the kingdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Well, as you take a look around, this model of rulership is not sustainable. It's not sustainable for your people. It's not sustainable for the earth. Like every now and then, I look at videos going into this whole thing with the state of relationships and whatnot. How relationships are pretty much fucked. Most of the women are fucking used up. They spend majority, I sat there and watched this shit too. With the younger women go around wanting to be hoes, and then when they get older, they wonder, hey, where are all the good men at? Things like that. They look for traditional men. You got hoes looking for marriage, looking for a ring. You got a lot of guys, just walking away from marriage, walking away from relationships. And you have these women that are unhappy about that. How much longer can that type of thing go on? How much longer can humanity continue? And it's here in in Western culture. it's trying to bleed out into the entirety of the world, but mainly Western culture, where you have, this freedom to do whatever you want, but all that comes with the price. And you people are paying the price right now with the collapse of your society. You got dumb nigga women tattooing their children, babies, 1-2 years old, tattooing their children. Everything is fucked all the way down to the atoms, to the molecules. Everything is fucked. I'm not sure if you heard this, but there's an article that came out a few months ago, and it talked about how breast milk in women is contaminated with pollutants. It's one thing for the food to be contaminated, but it makes sense because, like, what, you have a lot of women that smoke, like to drink and excess, stuff themselves with all this this bullshit food, but bodies breaking down, and all that shit passes over to your kid. One of the reasons why these little niggas are so fucking crazy and fucked up in the head. My job, a few jobs really. There's a lot of young people, like just like a couple of entry level jobs I've worked, but basic, nothing complicated. But there's been a lot of young people. I've sit back and observed them. A lot of these little niggas, like teenagers, late teens, early 20s, and even like grown ass people. Like short attention spans, simple work. It's difficult for them to do, or like they do it but they fuck it up. And, it makes it difficult on the people that they're working with, and they're idiots. They're weak physically. And when you go into Western culture, how Esau put up the society, it you have a lot of guys who are trying to in like the whole getting your masculinity back movement type of thing. There's going into how Western society broke down men and dulled men's fangs. Pretty much sissified them, and they're right. And masculinized women. But when you have events such as STHF happen, like you have women talk about how the boyfriend, like let's say they heard something downstairs, the boyfriend would make the girl, get out the bed and go check on it. But when you have when you have events like SHTF happen, all that bravado in these women is going to go right out the fucking window, because they're going to revert back to their natural state, because reality is going to set in that women aren't fashioned for the fight. You're not created for combat, nor are you built for the battle. Not to be funny or anything, but it's the truth. That's what that's one of the things that men are create. That's something that we can handle. You can't handle that shit. You're just not built for it. That's why in our we go into history with the Israelites. What would the women do? They would stay their ass at home, and the men that could battle would go to battle. And now you have men feminized. What do you think they're going to do? And the scriptures talk about how the men are going to be crying like bitches. So if the men are going to be crying like bitches, how much more are you women going to be crying like bitches? Because you're tough and high and mighty now, because you can rely on Esau's government. Let's say the power goes out, and now you have to start a fire. Now you have to, run out your house, and you have to survive. Literally fight. You have to fight for your fucking life. The only reason you're so tough now because you have Esau's government behind you. But that's just another way of how, this whole system of Esau isn't sustainable. You have you have a low percentage of people that have all the wealth, that have all this knowledge and all these skills of how to life, how to live, and they have all the resources and all the wealth, and you have the majority of the people pretty much getting the scraps. And everybody knows it. But what you Americans mainly have been pussified. Now you do have people waking up, to the bullshit, and they're angry. Like you have these white militias that are angry about that. But there's so much shit going on. There's so much internal shit going on that once again, like a kingdom divided can't stand. This isn't going to be able to continue. So this is why you have, all this is going to have to end in fire. It's all going to have to be done away with. This is why you have the hopeful elect looking for, the day of the Lord and watching. Not getting lost in all this bullshit. John 8:32. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That starts with mentally. Like a lot of you people, you believe in America. You're like physically everybody in this bitch is a slave, But it's being in mental bondage is worse than being in physical bondage. Like what, you may be getting your ass handed to you, but your enemy doesn't have your mind. If your enemy has your mind, then if your enemy's broken your will and has your mind, then it's all over. You have no chance of being set free, of anything you can think of that you want. You have no chance. But at least if you manage to keep your will strong, then like maybe one day you may be able to find some type of way to get out of bondage physically. But I'll say that because going into America, a lot of people believe in this place. You have a lot of Americans that are angry because of how their country turned their back on them. In other words, they still love their country. They just don't like what their leadership has done. You're all fucking idiots and slaves mentally. But being able to let how one way that the Lord has made us free is letting go of this shit we call America. No longer giving a fuck about this the way the society view us, about the traditions that's been forced on us, this whole, the American culture. Because it's all a spiritual mental prison. You have something called Stockholm syndrome. And that refers to someone who's been captured harboring a love for the person that captured them. In other words, your captor has your mind, and that's what mainly our people have for the heathen and especially Esau Edom, the white man. He's beating the living shit out of our people, and even now he beats the living shit out of our people financially, spiritually, mentally and physically. Yet they still love him. They say things like, pick yourself up by the bootstraps. What happened to our people hundreds of years ago no longer affects what you do today, which it does. Because when you really get into it, everybody, especially our people, whether they're functioning or non-functioning, we all suffer from some type of mental, physical and mental fucking, illness, whether we're conscious of it or not, Not only that, but I remember seeing something, reading Willie Lynch later. Goes into how, that pretty much was instructions on how to completely subdue our people mentally. And it mentioned how the effects of it were supposed to last at least 300 years. So the things that were in that, they may have changed, they may have evolved, but that shit was passed down throughout our people. Like what? Rap music, the way our culture, or not our culture, but this whole black culture bullshit, the certain things that it promotes that's, against the way that we're supposed to be living. And who promotes all that shit? Esau Edom, through, his entertainers, celebrities, pushing that shit onto our people. And when you really understand it, once again, when you look deeper, you understand that all the things that's happening to our people are curses. That's why, we're stuck. That's why all this shit keeps happening to us. Because, merely picking ourselves up by the bootstraps and working hard isn't going to get it done. That you may have your individual niggas here and there that may be successful, may have money, but as a nation, our people are going to continue to be subdued because it's punishment. And like there's a scripture that makes out if we turn to the Lord as a whole, I think it said that same night or that same day, he was gonna, put us back on top of everything. But what do you see our people doing? Still being faggots, still committing adultery, still worshiping the heathen. And yes, when you go into everything, take a look at the state of everything. The white man it is literally his fault. Who animal hunting for fun. Who puts all the chemicals in these foods? All the food is fucked up. The soil is fucked up. It is literally his fault. This isn't some type of, blame game thing where, you just blaming somebody because, you're angry, throwing attacks you or not. No, it is literally his fucking fault. You do research into these jabs. Who created them? Who put the poison in them? All you fucking idiots. Like, what's that one coon? The nigga is probably Edomite. But, I forgot his name. But he's mentioning, things like, stop blaming the white man. No, nigga, it is literally this nigga. If somebody stabs you in the, no, I'm going to end this. I feel like I'm in a rant, but I've been trying to, give, just trying to expound a little bit. But, so I can rant. But, if somebody stabs you, I don't know, in the vital organ, and as a result of that, all your other organs shut down, your fucking arms stop working, your toes curl up or some shit, your head spins on backwards. Nobody's going to sit there and say, oh, you're just blaming him. You shouldn't be just blaming people. Take responsibility. No, that nigga is, as a result of that stab wound, your body is now fucked up. As a result of the white man's actions, everything is fucked up. You know, that's why all you have Isaiah. Let me see if I can find it. This is going to be it. It's lucky if I was ranting. I try not to do that. I guess I was. But it was Isaiah 13 and 15. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So all you people who love the white man, who love America, the Lord's going to kill every last one of you. And you can laugh at that, but you know, you understand one thing. You know, all throughout history, when you have wars and invasions, full-on wars and invasions, you know, what's something that happened? You know, what's a repeating theme that happened? You either submit or you die. You know, and that's not by accident. And with the Lord, Exodus 15 and 3, the Lord is a man of war. And what do men of war do? They conquer, they pillage, they destroy. And ultimately, one of the things that they abide by is what? You submit or you die. So all you people who support America, you're either going to obey the Lord or you're going to die. And you can laugh now, but once again, when the shit at your government already admitted that UFOs are a threat to national security. The U.S. government already admitted that. Why do you think they're building a Space Force? But when the deal actually goes down, for example, you have people saying the economy was going to collapse, which it is. You have people saying gas prices are going to rise, which they are. You have people saying that martial law is going to happen, which is still going to happen. But when the shit actually goes down, what are you going to do? But there's really no set topic. You know, just going through. Just had a couple of scriptures written down. You know, I hope this edifying. Slacky if I ran it too much, but I'll say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shema, Kodash. The Devon, the Apostle, and Teacher, Great Muslim, my choose, Shalom to the whole collective Israel and destruction, Babylon, the Great America.